Attack on Titan really fumbled its ending. It caught the audience's eye, made them laugh with a few jokes, and even got their phone number. But when it was in the end zone, it started talking about how it owned several anime body pillows and got rejected and blocked for life. It couldn't even get a date. Spoilers for Naruto and Code Geass. You should have already finished these stories anyway. Let's analyze the footage. Here's the plan. The team wants to protect the flying boat and the mechanics while buying time for the ship, all without killing anyone. They execute this by having Armin and Connie pretend to be on Flock's side and order the mechanics to get the flying boat ready. But then they run into the first obstacle. Daz and Samuel, their friends, just came back from the premiere of Oppenheimer and decided to strap bombs onto the flying ship. They also don't completely believe Armin and Connie's lies. I wouldn't either. Bro, look at their faces. But these fools are too optimistic and end up believing the lies, so they disarm the bombs as they talk about how Oppenheimer watched Barbie equality. Meanwhile, Flock must have related to Einstein more from the atomic bomb movie because he started showing off a 200 IQ. He discovered discrepancies in Armin's story and decided to kill the mechanics. The shot heard around the world starts the war. Kiyomi stops Flock and Mikasa swings in to stop the others. Flock escapes and warns everyone that the heroes are traitors. How did they hear from that high? Now Armin and Connie get screwed. The enemy starts swinging in like Spider-Man and the first kills are made by Hanji and Magath. Then Armin gets lit up with lead like he was the victim of a drive-by. Daz and Sam are about to blow up the boat, but they don't want to kill their former friends. Mikasa's squad hides in the basement while the two Titan shifters get to work. Look at them crossing, posing, and shifting in sync. They think they're in an opening. Then the two pose as Titans before racking up their kill count. On Armin's side, Connie tackles Sam and Armin tackles Daz. All four bros start getting in their fields before Connie mans up and shoots both of the Aegirists. Good luck sleeping tonight, buddy. Then a new issue arises. The mechanics tell Hanji that it takes half a day to get the boat ready. The group makes a plan to get the boat ready in 15 minutes now, while the fighters defend them. The mechanics start running and the Titans have to protect them, which lowers their ability to protect themselves. Rana gets done dirty when Annie uses him as a meat shield. Ever since that first bout with Eren, he's always been taking L's. Falco notices that the Titans won't last long enough, so he decides to assist them with his new powers. A new problem shows up, the train of reinforcements, but this train gets bombed almost immediately. The two Titans get their heads blown off, so the main characters finally lock in and join the fight. Armin, Mikasa, Jean, and Connie get over their fear of killing former allies and start showing out like they have a highlight reel to record. College's gonna love this one. Then Falco finally pulls up from half court with a buzzer beater. He turns into the Jaws Titan. Flock wants his own buzzer beater in his highlight reel, so he locks all the way in. He dodges the jaw, blocks and bodies Hanji, jukes the cart 3 times, and launches his Thunder Spear. But Miss Plot Armor snipes him as he shoots it, causing him to miss. The boat is ready and it's time to board, but there's a minor problem. Falco has lost control as the Jaws Titan. Peak and Magath work together to remove him from the Titan. As everyone boards, Magath stays behind to destroy a cruiser that could catch up, and Chadis shows up, catching some bodies. It's revealed that he blew up the train. The two unite to blow up the cruiser in a final act. Lots of bombs. You can tell which side of Barbenheimer they were on. Now, let me analyze this section. The first mission is to get out. Every mission has 3 stages: the problem, the action, and the conclusion. The action stage for the mission is split up into 2 sub-missions: get the boat and get the mechanics. I'll call the overarching mission the escape cycle. Its sub-cycles will be called the boat cycle and the mechanic cycle. The mechanic cycle almost fails when Flock tries to kill the prisoners. Mikasa, Hanji, and Magath stop this from happening by fighting back. This results in Flock exposing the traitors, which throws a wrench in the boat cycle. Armin gets shot. The mechanic cycle has the regular people hiding while the Titan shifters start carrying the action. The boat cycle ends in success when Connie kills Daz and Sam. The completion of this cycle leads to the mechanics needing to get the boat ready. I'll call this the prep cycle. In order to get to the prep cycle, the Titan shifters need to protect the mechanics as they make their way to the boat, complicating the mechanic cycle. The Titans are getting schooled before the main characters, Peak and Falco, start helping out. The mechanics make it to the ship, ending the mechanic cycle and starting the prep cycle. The soldiers have to protect the mechanics while they complete the prep cycle. This is the action cycle. During this, a train appears and is taken out immediately. This could be a cycle of its own, but it happens so fast, it could also not be counted as one. But the quickness of this train cycle is foreshadowing for when Chadis comes to help at the end. More fighting ensues until all the enemies are wiped out, ending the action cycle. Falco shifting was a big help, but it came at a consequence. He went out of control, starting a Falco cycle that was quickly resolved by Magath and Peak. The prep cycle is completed and the boat is ready to leave. But there's one more cycle, the cruiser. Magath and Chadis take out the cruiser to ensure their allies' safety. There are so many interweaving cycles, which makes this plot thrilling and well written. The theme is well written here too. It is established ahead of time that the Survey Corps don't want to kill anyone since they used to be friends with them. Armin and Connie are the first to have this ideal tested. They are put in a situation where they can either let their friends blow up the boat and kill them, dooming most of the world, or they can kill their friends to save more people in the long run. They go with the latter. They sacrifice their vow not to kill for the greater good. This is only fully realized when Annie and Reiner are defeated, which results in the quartet going ham and consciously killing several Jaegerists. On to the final battle. In round 1, Eren shows that he can't be talked out of this. This ensures that Armin won't be able to use Talk no Jutsu, and that they will have to actually kill him. Annie, Falco, and Gabi returning is set up. Falco being able to fly is briefly hinted at, but not enough. In 134, Eren shows that he can create Zeke's Beast Titan and that he's pretty unstoppable. At the end, the heroes show up and start their battle with Eren. The Super Titan is able to produce Titans on his back. He even summons the 9 Titans from the past. At the start, Armin gets captured from a previous Card Titan and is prevented from transforming. Why are they always doing my boy Armin dirty? They had him cross-dressing that one time, and now they put a Titan's tongue in his mouth. What's up with you, Isayama? Why are you always trying to strip Armin of his dignity? And trust me, that isn't the last weird thing that will happen in this series, but we'll get to that necrophilia later. Pieck tries to blow up Eren's neck, but the Warhammer stops her before she can finish. The team is getting completely overwhelmed when Falco comes to save them with his flying jaw. Pause. That's the end of round 1. They decide to spin the block in round 2. Their first goal is to free Armin. Meanwhile, Armin being in the Titan's mouth served as an excuse to bring him into the path, where he meets Zeke. He turned into the Magi and activated Solomon's wisdom. So now, Armin has to get Zeke's help, the heroes have to free Armin, and the heroes have to kill Eren. I talked about Armin's philosophical monologue in detail in my video, When the Theme Outweighs the Plot. What I find fascinating is that Armin always seemed like the kind of character that would do a Naruto monologue, but after Eren's final message, it seemed like that wouldn't be able to happen. After all, if you talked to Eren and it worked, then what was the point of Eren saying all of that? Eren would look spineless, like he had no backbone. The story would have created limitations just to go back on them. However, AOT actually plays with this by having Armin talk to Zeke instead, not Eren. His talk doesn't stop everything peacefully, but it does allow for a good outcome. Is it me, or are more characters doing Talk no Jutsu? Deku did it, Tanjiro did it, Thorfinn did it, and now Armin. I'm not complaining, I'm just pointing it out. Armin's monologue gets the previous shifters to help, then Armin is saved. Levi's threat of killing Zeke is wrapped up. Jean blows up Eren's neck, and the Colossal Titans stop, ending what Pieck started. Reiner stops the worm thing, and Armin nukes the place, Oppenheimer style. Let's break this down into cycles too. The rumbling cycle is the overall goal of stopping Eren and the rumbling. The first subcycle is the Armin cycle, which is when Armin is captured and they have to save him. The second is the next cycle, which is when Pieck tries to blow up the neck to kill Eren. The third is the Zeke cycle, which started in round 2. Check this out. When Armin completed the Zeke cycle through Talk no Jutsu, it led to him getting freed, completing the Armin cycle. After this, Jean is able to finish what Pieck started by blowing up the bombs, completing the next cycle. But Eren is still not dead, so Armin ends it with a nuke, completing the rumbling cycle by killing Eren. Falco having bird powers is a little questionable and too convenient, but I can let it slide due to the masterclass here. That's a stunning climax. Armin willingly kills Eren to save the world. All that's left to do is to have everyone bury the hatchet after seeing what the rumbling did and could have done. It would be poetic because Eren wanted to just kill all of his enemies, but now he's become the villain that unintentionally united the world and changed everyone's behavior. This is similar to Sasuke and Lelouch's goals, except they were consciously trying to unite the world while Eren wasn't. I respect this path as well, because it would have been lame if Eren was faking his whole freedom, mentality, and coolness. It's interesting how there are some villains that can't be reasoned with. I respect both sides, it's all about execution. But wait, that's not how the manga ends. I'm writing this before the final episode airs, so if something changes in the anime, and hopefully it will, I'll address that at the end. Anyway, Eren comes back as a Colossal Titan in chapter 138. Everyone Eldian that isn't a Titan shifter, or Ackerman, starts turning into a mindless Titan. This includes Jean, Connie, and Gabi. The fight not ending was the first red flag, because why would you abandon such an amazing climax? Jean and the other main characters becoming Titans was the second red flag. There's no way the story would end with them as Titans or dead. They've had enough plot armor to make it this far, which means that this would have to be reversed. And the knowledge of exactly how many chapters were left, one in this case, informed me that this decision would be quickly undone, making this a cheap scare. Armin fights Eren, and the other Titan shifters try to stop the worm. Mikasa has a dream about an alternate dimension, where she and Eren run away together before preparing to kill Eren and putting on her scarf. Her putting on her scarf is symbolic of her regressing. This is not a good thing, because the manga treats this as a good moment, not a tragic one. She finally escaped from her obsession with Eren, along with Armin, but now she's putting it back on, even after everything that's happened. Mikasa knowing that he was inside the mouth was a deus ex. That's what happens when you have one chapter left, and you try to introduce another conflict. Her killing Eren was much less rewarding than Armin killing Eren. My main reasons are that they were best friends. Armin got the pulp beaten out of him by Eren, and Armin was the most non-violent character, which makes it poetic for him to kill Eren. There's also all of the action and plot happening up until that point. The story was good when Armin killed him. The story was falling apart when Mikasa killed him. And to make things worse, Mikasa kisses Eren's severed head. That's a severed head. Mikasa looks like a deranged, necrophilic yandere. 2. Their romance was completely one-sided. Eren never showed any romantic feelings towards her, and their chemistry sucked. People have pointed out that he had better chemistry with Historia, but when I look back, I agree. 3. This feels like it was done simply to please shippers, which I hate. He didn't want that Bleach Naruto treatment. I despise when writers allow their fans to bend them into making decisions. It shows a lack of confidence in your own work. Chapter 138 was just back-to-back bad decision making, and I thought that was bad. 139 starts off by doing the opposite of what I just praised him for, and making Eren like Lelouch. Eren planned this all along since he was a kid. This decreases the impact of everyone's efforts since it was all according to plan. It also means that Eren, at his peak, was simply faking. That's the first major blow to his character. The second blow is in regards to Mikasa. I feel secondhand embarrassment simply reading this. Eren is retconned to have been in love with Mikasa all along, and he even says sucker nonsense like, "I can't stand to see Mikasa be with another man." First of all, you'll be dead, so you won't be seeing anything. Second of all, he's acting like he just saw his wife get her back blown out by another man. You were never together, and you never showed any signs of loving her as anything more than a sister. This is pure character assassination. Then he goes on whining about how he doesn't want to die. Why didn't Armin remember? Because he had his memories erased. But guess what? After his death, everyone remembers, and all the Titans disappear from the world. Let's start with the first part. In Geass, at least only 2 people were aware of Lelouch's sacrifice, but here, they make everyone aware, and he's looked at as a hero. Lelouch faced consequences and was remembered as a cruel dictator. Eren tries to kill everyone and is remembered as a hero. That's nonsense. As I predicted, all the Titans are turned back into people, undoing the stakes set up in the last chapter. Just a cheap scare. The characters can also see dead Survey Corps members for some reason. This is so corny. I know I made a Magi reference before, but this is too much. Magi literally has magic. AOT doesn't, so this stuff is breaking my suspension of disbelief. Mikasa also carried Eren's head away and leaves with it, making her even creepier. But I'm not done. Remember how Titan shifters only had a certain amount of years left to live when getting their powers, adding to the consequences of gaining such a strong power? That's removed when Eren dies. I understand the logic, and I'm fine with Titans disappearing, but the Titan shifters being freed from their curse is too much of a happy ending for me, especially considering AOT's previous arcs. It's revealed that Historia's baby dad is not Eren, which further pleases the Mikasa shippers because it was speculated that Historia's child was Eren's up until now. Instead, she has Stockholm Syndrome and is married to one of the kids that bullied her as a child. Neat. Most of the main characters are now peace ambassadors or something. Side note, it's crazy how Isayama pleases the Mikasa shippers, but has Historia marry and smash some nobody, while Reiner is alone simping for her. The whole Mikasa and the bird thing is cringy. As a matter of fact, everything regarding Mikasa since 138 was a disaster. And to make matters even worse, there were extra pages added to show Shiganshina eventually getting bombed after many time skips. Then some kid finds the Titan tree, implying that the story will just repeat itself. So is the message that war can never be stopped? Bro, what am I looking at? Get this garbage off my screen. In 2 chapters, Isayama managed to mess up almost everything. 138 and 139 are easily the 2 worst chapters in AOT. They assassinate Eren's character after he had become a top tier character. They nullify an amazing climax. They make Mikasa creepy. They're filled with Deus Ex Machinas and cheap fake-outs, and they change the theme of the story into something terribly unsatisfying. However, I'm not like those idiots who think that a bad ending ruins the entire story. It does damage, but it doesn't ruin the entire story. That's impossible to do. At the end of the day, chapters 1 to 137 still exist. They still give me a spectacular ride, and I can still learn a lot from them. In conclusion, AOT is a fantastic masterpiece that just has 2 garbage chapters as the finale. No story is perfect, and those 2 chapters don't stop the entire manga from being top tier. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.